Everyone's talking about Llama and Nefer like they're the safest pools in 6.5 phase 2. And maybe they are. Or maybe you're about to throw your 160 wishes into a banner and still feel like something's missing. Because here's the thing nobody's telling you. Pooling Llama and Nefer isn't a decision, it's a commitment. And if you don't understand what you are committing to, phase 2 is going to hurt your account more than help it. So before you touch that wish button, watch this. Phase 2 of 6.5 runs from April 28th to May 19th, and it's bringing back two characters that a lot of players either slept on the first time around or couldn't afford before. Lauma and Nefer, both rerunning at the same time. On paper, that sounds incredible. Two strong characters, one patch, perfect opportunity. But here is where it gets complicated. These two aren't just individual units. There is systems. Specifically, they're the core of what's called the Lunar Bloom team archetype, one of the three major Luna-based playstyles introduced in the Nordcry era. And a system only works when it's complete. Let's start with Lauma, because she is the one people underestimate the most. If you pull her expecting flashy numbers, you might be disappointed at first. She doesn't show off, she doesn't burst for a million damage in one hit. What Lauma does is quieter and honestly more impressive. She is the glue, the setup engine. She creates the conditions for reactions to happen consistently, not once in a while, consistent. Her entire kit is built around enabling her teammates, smoothing out rotations, and making sure that when Nefer comes in, she has everything she needs to actually deal damage. Without Llama, Nefer's rotation becomes inconsistent. With Llama, the team flows. The problem is, that kind of character is really hard to evaluate in isolation. You can't test her in the training ground and determine that she's strong based on the numbers you see. You need to see her in context in a full Lunabloom team with the right setup. So when people say Llama felt underwhelming, they almost always pulled her without building around her. And that's the trap. Now, Nefer is a little more straightforward, but not entirely. She is the damage dealer of the duo. When the setup is there and Llama has done her job, Nefer delivers. Her numbers are real, her impact is felt, and in the right vulnerable composition, she is generally one of the strongest DPS options in the current meta. But here is the key thing to understand. Nefer's performance ceiling is directly tied to how well your Llama is built. Bad Llama investment equals inconsistent Nefer. So if you're planning to pull Nefer and skip Llama, thinking you'll just slot in a different support, it can work, but you are leaving a significant amount of damage on the table. The 4-star line of this phase is worth talking about because it's a mixed bag. Xingqiu is the standout here, and if you have been playing since the early days, you already know why. He is one of the OG 4 stars for a reason. Consistent hydro application outfield, damage reduction, and healing on top of that. He slots into Lunar Bloom comfortably and brings genuine value beyond just being a budget option. Kirara provides a shield, which is nice, but her ceiling is pretty limited in this context. If you happen to have her C4, she opens up some utility in Bloom or other Dendro reaction streams. But even then, Yaya honestly edges her out as a Dendro support in most situations. Don't pull for Kirara specifically for this stick. And Jahoda, the free unit from the flagship event. She is fine on paper as an FO support, but her ability cooldowns and long field time make her awkward in the time limited content like Spiral Abyss. Sucrose does what Jahoda tries to do but faster, more flexibly, and with better EM sharing. If you have Sucrose built, use her instead. So the honest 4-star takeaway for this patch, Xingqiu is genuinely worth pulling if you don't have him. The other two are situational at best. Alright, let's get to the actual question. Should you pull on these banners or not? Here's how I break it down. Pull both if you've been building to a Lunar Bloom, you already have supporting characters, and you're looking for a team that genuinely scales with investment. This is your patch. Pull Nefer only if you already have Llama from her first banner. That's really the only condition that matters here. Llama isn't just a support for Nefer. She is practically a requirement. With Llama, Nefer competes with and outperforms most DPSs in the game right now. Without her, you're getting a fraction of what Nefer is actually capable of. The Hydro unit is still needed to trigger Lunar Bloom reactions, but that's a secondary concern. The Llama question comes first. Pull Llama only if you're planning ahead for a future Nefer rerun or you already have Nefer from her first banner. As a standalone unit outside Lunar Bloom, she is harder to justify. Skip entirely if you are saving Primos for 6.6, or you are a Zibai main who already has Linnea from phase 1, or you simply don't enjoy how Lunar Bloom team feels to play. because that matters. A meta team you hate playing is worse than an off meta team you enjoy. One more thing, Content Chronicle voice banner will also be live in phase 2, featuring Lini, Florent, Navia, Sidrin, and Emily. If you miss any of those Fontaine units, that banner is competing for your Primos too. Don't forget to factor that in. So, are these banners a trap? Honestly, if you're going blind. Lauma and Nefer are genuinely strong. Luna Bloom is a real archetype that rewards players who invest in it. This phase might be your last chance to get the core duo together for a long time. But if you pull them without understanding the system, without building around them, or without committing, yes, it's going to feel like a waste. That's the thing about Kenshin that never changes. The banner isn't the decision. Understanding what you're building is the decision. Pool smart, build intentional, and if this helped you figure out your phase 2 plan, drop a like. It helps the channel more than you think. See you in the next one.